Have you ever visited a forest with all those incredible trees surrounding it? Trees are like the equilibrium of our ecosystem. From animal species to us humans rely on trees. I couldn't imagine our planet without these gigantic trees that protect us from so many things, like filtering out air and a habitat for animals. Some trees are different from one another. Different meaning this certain type of tree stands out from the rest. What could be the qualities they possess? Why are they so incredible? Let's watch this clip and find out. Quaking aspens. If you're from North America and Canada, this tree is quite familiar. This tree can only survive in cool climates, and it is known for its stunning golden leaves. The white bark is one identifying characteristic of this tree. The bark layer of quaking aspens carries out photosynthesis, this job usually reserved for tree leaves. During winter, when other trees are mostly dormant, quaking aspens are able to keep producing sugar for energy. The lifespan of quaking aspens is unique. They usually live for more than 60 years, sometimes up to 150 years in the West. However, in many cases, each tree is actually part of a much larger organism, since multiple stems can sprout from the same root system. While one stem has a relatively short lifespan, the entire clone can live for tens of thousands of years. Dragon's blood tree. The dragon blood tree can be distinguished through its uniqueness and an appearance of umbrella-shaped tree. If you happen to drop by the Middle East, this tree is a native in this region and can be found at the coast of Yemen called Socotra. It is usually producing red sap, which later on is converted to red resin, and has been used since ancient times. The locals of Socotra Island use the Dracaena resin as a sort of cure, all using it for such things as general wound healing, curing diarrhea, antiviral for respiratory viruses, stomach viruses, and even for skin problems like eczema. How about you? Are you up for some dragon's blood? Antarctic beech. This Antarctic beech is a pink hardwood used in flooring and cabinet making. The pale red-brown wood is durable underwater and is valued for indoor use, tool handles, and shipping containers. Usually, they are planted as ornamentals on other continents. Beech trees are tall, round-headed, and wide-spreading. The thin bark is smooth and steel, gray in color. They are slow-growing trees, but may live up to 400 years or more. Rainbow gum. Do you know there is a rainbow-like tree? This tree is widely known as rainbow gum or rainbow eucalyptus. It is characterized by multicolored bark. It has smooth, orange-tinted bark that sheds in strips, revealing streaks of pale green, red, orange, gray, and purplish brown. That's why they call it a rainbow tree. This type of tree is only found in the northern hemisphere, like the Philippines, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea, because for it to survive and grow, it needs to get a lot of rain. What makes this tree incredible was the tree itself due to its multi-layered of rainbow-like colors, like somebody painted on it. People couldn't help to take a picture whenever they see this certain tree. What a wonderful creation it must be. The Hyperion. Do you sometimes wonder what's the tallest tree in our planet? Tree experts called it the Hyperion. Yes, they do have a name, and amazingly enough, they still exist in a remote area of Redwood National Park in California. But the exact location of Hyperion is a no-go zone to protect the tree from the hands of earthlings like us. This tree is estimated to be as old as our forefathers. Apparently, this needs hundreds of years to grow that tall. And do you know that this tree can grow till 380 foot tall? Almost as tall as the tallest buildings of New York. Well, if you got the height, flaunt it. Momiji. Momiji, or known as Japanese maple tree, is famous for its elegance. The vibrant colors from its leaves makes you want one in your backyard. In Japanese, it is known as momiji, which means crimson leaf. During springtime, the leaves glow red. By summer, leaves become green, and in autumn they turn scarlet, gold, and orange. Japanese maples, especially young trees, are sensitive to extreme heat and sunlight. So, unlike many other plants, summer season is not their favorite. But, despite of its tender good looks, this is one hardy tree. That makes the Japanese maple a winning choice. Banyan tree. How splendid is it to look at this web tree, or famously known as banyan tree? The banyans are stringler figs. They grow from seeds that land on other trees. For thousands of years, people have used banyans as a source of medicine. Even till today, people use banyan leaves, bark, and roots to treat more than 20 disorders. And did you know that this is also India's national tree? Because of its characteristic and longevity, this tree is considered immortal. For centuries, the banyan tree has been a central point for the village communities of India. And one more interesting belief about this tree is that it is also called a kalpabriksha, meaning wish-fulfilling divine tree. So, if you happen to see one, make a wish! Boab prison tree. This gigantic tree is famously known as Boab prison tree, that can be found in Derby, Australia. Rumor has it, the reason why they called it a prison tree was because they have been used as a holding cell for Aboriginal prisoners in the 1890s. This tree is almost 50 feet and a large hollow trunk. This has become a popular tourist attraction for decades. Over the years, many visitors have carved their names into the tree, a practice which is now strictly prohibited by the government of Australia. Aside from their kangaroos and koala bears, you can take a detour and visit this ever-mysterious prison tree. Claylock tree. This wondrous tree has several names like runway tree, claylock tree, tree root cave, and the famous tree of life. Do you know why they call it tree of life? Because this tree is amazingly supplying the tree with a life despite having no soil. A tree still standing, having no roots to hold it in place during an intense storm. Some people call it magic. Usually, a normal tree will fall victim to our harsh weather, but this tree somehow managed to survive without having an anchor system in place. Surely there has to be some magical powers involved. Okay, now we understand why it's the tree of life. Chapel Oak. Once upon a time, in a small village of Allaville, Belfast, France, a lightning struck an old tree. And guess what? It survived and created a hollowed-out trunk, which later on becomes a shelter of two small chapels with a spiral staircase that winds around the trunk. These two chapels were built in 1669 and baptized under the name of Notre-Dame de la Paix, Our Lady of Peace, and the Chambre de l'Ermite, Hermit's Room. This tree is known for its resilience and endurance. The tree was almost burnt down by angry crowds during the French Revolution due to the symbol of old governance and tyranny. Luckily, it got spared and renamed the Temple of Reason, encouraging the crowd to see it as a symbol of modern thinking. Twice a year, a mass was held inside this chapel. It has also become a site of pilgrimage, which attracted local tourists and outsiders. Amazing! Wisteria. This dazzling wisteria plant will keep you awestruck from its vibrant colors with splashes of pink and purple. This plant is located in Ashikaga Flower Park in Japan, which looks like a giant tree, but they're actually vines. Wisteria grows rapidly and they get very heavy. That's why the entire structure is on steel supports, allowing visitors to walk below its canopy and bask in the pink and purple light cast by its gorgeous hanging blossoms. Makes you feel like you're in the movie of Avatar. The Tree of Tule. This next tree is very much popular in the land of tacos and enchiladas, Mexico. El árbol del Tule, or Tree of Tule, is one of the widest trees in our planet and it's estimated to be around 2,000 years old. The tree is a Moctezuma bald cypress, and a tree the Aztecs cultivated as an ornamental and a source of medicine. This gigantic tree gathered nicknames throughout the years, including the elephant, the pineapple, and Carlos Salinas' tears. Back in 1990, it was reported that the tree is slowly dying because its roots have been damaged by water shortages, pollution, and traffic. That's why the government of Oaxaca, Mexico, put a fence around the tree and eventually becomes a local attraction of the town. Surprisingly, the tule is still growing till today. Lone cypress. The beautiful and overlooking Pebble Beach, California, grows this iconic tree, the lone cypress. The tree is iconic and has been called one of the most photographed trees in North America. The cypress has been scarred by fire and has been held in place with cables for 65 years. The appearance of the tree changed over the years, and one of its branches broke off during a storm in 2019. However, this tree remains an attraction spot in the area, a 17-mile drive in Pebble Beach. This Monterey cypress grows only in 2 locations, between Fanshell Beach and Pescadero Point in Pebble Beach, and across the Carmel Bay in Point Lobos. So, if you're a tree enthusiast, this spectacular tree should be in your bucket list. Thank me later. Okay, folks, these are the most amazing trees in our planet. Which one do you want to see for real? Or have you already seen one of these trees? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.